Our setting here in the country, we are still, or most of us, if not all, are still very conservative people. And if there's any topic out there you wouldn't like talking about, that is sexual harassment. Because not everyone has that level of maturity to even talk about it. Or not everyone is as open-minded as our counterparts in where? In the States. Sa kanila, it's not a big deal or a big thing anymore. Pero dito sa atin, pag pinag-usapan ng sexual harassment, para, oops, I'm gonna distance myself from it. I don't want to talk about it. It's a very sensitive topic. It's something that's not gonna suit my personality because I am, what? A girl, a woman, female, there. But, not just because you guys are gonna graduate very soon. Knowing or being educated about this topic will prepare you for what lies ahead that you would least expect. And of course, just like what your seminar's topic says, be protected. So I hope that everything that you guys are going to learn out of this seminar, you'll be able to bring with you outside when you leave your alma mater, Miriam College. Okay? So just to set expectations with everyone. So yes, instead of asking questions in between, there will be a portion for our Q&A. And just let me know, I don't mind being disrupted. Okay? Just let me know if I'm always speaking too fast. Sir Myron, masyado ka na mabilis nagsasalita. Sir Myron, there's something about what you are talking about that we are not understanding or is vague. Just let me know, okay? Alright, now, if I ask you a question about whether it's clear or not, just respond with clear. Are we okay with it?
Yes.
Alright. Kasabi ko lang. Alright. So just to check for understanding, if everything is okay, or if you are on the same page as I am, just respond with the word
Clear.
very good. Okay, so let's get started. Literary or dictionary definition, and the other one we're going to talk about is its legal definition, or what the law or the act says. And let's talk about the literary or the dictionary definition. It is yan. So this is the dictionary definition. Sexual harassment is an uninvited and unwelcome verbal, okay? So sinusulat or sinasabi, alright? Or physical behavior, something you show, something you do, of a sexual nature or with malicious intent behind it, especially by a person in authority. That part right there is very important because sexual harassment is sometimes mistaken as act of lasciviousness, or there's another term that goes unjust vexation there. And we will try to talk about those other terms later on. So moving on, toward a subordinate as an employee or student. Alright? I will keep you hanging for now because we will talk about the other definition. We will talk about these things in detail later on. Okay? The next definition is what RA number 7877 says about sexual harassment. And it is committed by an employer, employee, manager, supervisor, agent of the employer, teacher, instructor, professor, coach, trainer, or any other person who, having authority, influence, or moral ascendancy over another in a work or training or education environment. So what can you guys derive out of it? So those people that you can complain, okay, or that you can file a sexual harassment case against would be those people who are higher than you in the workplace. And this person could be, what? either your immediate superior or somebody else, for as long as it's higher than you. When we're talking about titles, designations, or levels. So this could be your immediate boss, your boss's boss, your employer, or the head of the division you are part of. Is that clear? Yeah. Okay, going on. And the other form of sexual harassment is verbal. Once again, when we say verbal, it's something that you say or you write. So what are the different examples of a verbal action? Okay? Yan. Requests or demands for sexual favors. Once again, when we are talking about sexual, we're not only talking about the act itself. We're also talking about anything that has to do with the reproductive organs or the human genitalia, and even something that is sexually motivated or has sexual desires. Okay? For example, even if the person you're speaking with is very close to you or very dear to you, like your close male friend, and sinabi niyang, "Pakis nga, bahag naman dyan," and you felt offended, you felt that, okay, that was wrong, or you didn't say it correctly, then that can be considered as what? A request or demand for sexual favor. The next one is lurid remarks. Pag sinabing lurid remarks, remarks that you consider shocking or traumatizing. Yun yung mga lurid remarks. What? I didn't expect it would come from you. I hate you now. And so when you consider such remarks as lurid, pwede rin yung act of sexual harassment. Next. So it's not only physical, as you can see, guys, it's not only verbal as well. It could also be a use of objects, pictures or graphics, letters, or written notes with sexual underpinnings. Pag sinabi natin yung sexual underpinnings, mayroong sexual influence. For example, object, pencil, so may idea na kayo, right? Picture, you know what? I really have a big crush on, let's think of a very sexy actress nowadays, Katrina Halili, there. So, I have a very big crush on Katrina Halili. It's like every time I look at Katrina Halili's picture, I see you. And then you go, what? What did you just say? Once again, if you feel offended, violated, or abused with such a remark, or by simply the person comparing Katrina Halili to you, and you're what? You're not really a fan of Katrina Halili, and you find Katrina Halili not a very good role model or example, then it's an act of sexual harassment. Next, letter. Meron ka nakitang letter. You don't know who it came from. Mas nakalagay doon, I would like to spend the rest of the night with you. And then you have an idea who that person is. So pwede mo rin, i-reklamo yung tao na yun. You're the one who sent this to me, right? You're the one who wrote this to me, right? Okay, what's behind all of this? Why do you want to spend the rest of the night with me? Yeah. Once again, it all boils down to what you felt afterwards. If you feel what? One of those words that I'm always saying, offended, abused, victimized, or violated. Next. So are we clear with all these three?
Yeah.
So these are the different forms of sexual harassment. Okay? By the way, before we go any further, let me just check on you guys, because this is something I might have forgotten to set expectations with you all about. Because in talking about a topic like this, alright, you guys should possess what we call a certain level or degree of maturity and open-mindedness. So far, are you being mature and open-minded?
Yes.
Okay. Well, after all, what is your age range now? 18, 19, or even 17, right? So since you're already at the latter part of your being tweens, di ba yun yung bagong term sa teenagers nowadays, when you hear your rights or privileges under existing labor laws. Of course, you do your researching. Kung ano sinasabi sa ating labor code. And next, the above acts or the previous acts that we talked about would result in an intimidating, hostile, or offensive environment for the employee. These are the same things I talked about earlier. Nilalayuan ka ng tao, they look like they feel disgust over you, or hindi ka sinasamahang kumain, or pinagchichismisan ka, and then eventually you feel traumatized. Diba? And then eventually you think na, okay, this or what's happened to me might have anything to do with what happened between me and my boss or employer before. So it's time to stand up for it and file a complaint against the person who did that to you. Are we clear, guys?
Yes.
Alright? Is it too much information already or just fine?
Fine.
Very good. Next. How about in an education or training environment just like your beloved school, Miriam College? Number one, against one who is under the care, custody, or supervision of the offender. So we're talking about professor to student. There. Okay? Let's go back. What happened? Number two. Number two, against one whose education, training, apprenticeship, or tutorship is entrusted to the offender. So I believe they're very self-explanatory. Right? Next. Number three. Okay, this one is very interesting. Just to involve you guys, instead of me, reading all these things all by myself, I hope you don't mind if I involve you by reading with me. Is that okay?
Yes.
So you get to do something aside from taking down notes, okay? So let's read this. 1, 2, 3, go. When the sexual favor is made a condition to the giving of a passing grade, or the granting of honors and scholarships, or the payment of a stipend, allowance, or other benefits, privileges, or consideration. Bumagsak ka. Give me a subject. So, sorry, did you say broadband? Oh, okay. Production management. Oh, yung broadband. Parang rinig ko broadband. Nag-aaralan ng DSL dito. Okay. Kasi naalala ko yung e-business. Yeah. Alright, well, going back, yan. Bagsak ka sa broadband. Pero ipapasakitan. Ayan na. May ibang topic na pinag-uusapan later on. Next. Sir, hindi ako bibigyan ng mana ng parents ko, sir. Hindi na ako bibigyan ng allowance, daily allowance ng parents ko kapag hindi na ako imagine na may honor, na may laude sa dulo ang title ko. Ganun ba? Well, you don't actually deserve it. You don't actually qualify for it. Alright? You don't have the grace to request it. Pero, napag-uusapan naman yan. Ano ba gusto mo? Right? Cum laude? Magna cum laude? Summa cum laude? Ayan na. Alright? Next. Or the payment of a stipend, allowance, or other benefits, privileges, or consideration. So there. Now you know. So you've got to be extra careful next time. Okay? I hope that so far, none of these things, okay, are happening to you. Meron ba? Great. Alright, next. Number 4. When the sexual advances result in an intimidating, hostile, or offensive environment for the student, trainee, or apprentice. So it's pretty much the same with the previous one. Are we clear?
Clear.
Awesome. Okay, next. Let's now talk about what procedures remain as such only until she lets justice be served. Tama? What does that mean? Forever kang magiging biktima unless or until you come out, you be courageous enough, and you complain. Hindi yung hahayaan mo na lang or kalilimutan mo na lang. Because it's something that's not, what? A small thing. It's very important because kayo ay babae. Alright? But, remember this. In case you opt not to share or complain about it anymore, you become an eternal fool because you deny yourself of, letter J, justice. So, guys, commit this to memory. And if you do, you're going to be fine, especially when you start working. Okay? So that ends my presentation, everyone. So I hope you learned a lot about sexual harassment in the workplace. Thank you. Oh, by the way, can you proceed to the last page? I have to apologize if I am flagging or...
May I read the wordings of the certificate of appreciation? Miriam College, College of Business, Entrepreneurship and Accountancy. This certificate of appreciation is given to Mr. Myron Sta for sharing his valuable time and expertise as a resource speaker on the top office secrets being formed in the lifetime. Given this 11th day of February 2013 at the Environmental Studies Institute Conference Hall, Miriam College, Quezon City. There are 4 signatures here. First, Miriam S. Guadalupe, the President of the School Business Association. The second is Elaine, the Chairperson of the Business Administration Department. The third is the Construction Warren Design, the Dean of the College. And the last is the least important signature of all, the operator of the Business Association.